Greetings, friends. What are you learning today that will help you better serve God? Well, I want to share with you today an inspirational story, something that took place before I moved to Hollywood, perhaps a couple of weeks before. Some of you may know that I was on my way to Bob Jones University back around 1994, and I did about face and decided I wanted to pursue acting. And I was headed to Hollywood. It took me 2 years to get there. And I did various jobs. I did, delivery of flowers, balloons actually, to people. I would dress up as Mr. Wonderful and go to this gal who it was her birthday, and I'd give her a kiss on the cheek, and I had a little tuxedo on and got paid pretty good for that. Did magic shows and for kids and got paid for that because I was actually a professional musician on a small scale. I did sleight of hands and things like that. Even did one for a friend of mine, his son, back around maybe 95 or 96. And even when I went to Hollywood. But those were just kind of survival jobs. But one job that I did was tied into my junk removal business, property cleanup business. And here's how it happened. I was driving south on I-5 in my hometown of Stockton one time, and I noticed off to the right a bunch of tomatoes had spilled on the road. I think it was by Charter Way, right by the freeway. So I pulled off, I exited and parked in a parking lot. And I sat there just for a little bit, beholding the scene. And, the cleanup crew was there. Well, it looked like cleanup crew, but it just occurred perhaps within 30 minutes. Now, this is before I had a cell phone, okay? So there was a payphone there. And I got on the payphone, I called my friend Billy. And Billy, his name was Billy Diller. He was in the same business as I was, but he was actually doing a lot better. He got the bigger jobs than I did. And so I called Billy up. I said, "You won't believe what I'm seeing, Billy. There's a tomato spill over here on Charter Way and I-5. Boy, that'd be a great job to get. I wouldn't know what to charge, even if I got it." He threw a figure out there. He said, $2,300. I said, $2,300, huh? You think they'd go for that? Yeah, they'll go for that. So what I did is I got the name of the trucking company, and Mike Lowry. Was it Lowry's Trucking? Yeah, Lowry's Trucking. So I went back to my studio apartment, I believe, and I called. I was at 945 North El Dorado. It was a big brick building, beautiful place. Still there, thank God. Went up to the second floor. I can't remember my apartment building, but I went there and I called Mike Lowry, and I guess I spoke directly to him, and I told him what had happened. I said, "There's a tomato spill over here. I can clean that up for you." He says, "How much?" $2,300. He says, $2,300. Now, let me get back to you. I'll let you know. I think within an hour or so, he called me back. He got the job. I couldn't believe it. I got the job. Here's what happened. I was thinking, how much is this going to cost to take all that to the dump, because they charge by the weight. And although back then it might have been a flat rate, I'm not sure. Now it's by the weight, by the ton. What I did, Billy tried to help me out, but he had a small truck, and Caltrans, who was involved with this, they weren't going to go for it. So they said, "Look, you got till tomorrow to get this cleaned up." So Billy was out of the picture. I was going to use him for that job, but no, that didn't work. I got an end dump, which carries about 18 cubic yards, I believe. Got an end dump to go out there. Caltrans loaded the truck for me for free. I got a pig farmer. I don't know, maybe this trucker knew where to take it, but there was a pig farmer out in Linden somewhere. And this trucker took the tomatoes out there. I think I followed him out there just to make sure it got dumped there. And he dumped them off there to this pig farmer. So my dump fee was free. I didn't have a dump fee, in other words. And that didn't take him very long to get rid of those tomatoes. He fed them to this farmer's pigs. And I got a check in the mail. When I arrived in Hollywood in August, I think it was August 31st, 1996, I got a check within about a week for $2,300. maybe it was $2,500, and then I knocked a couple $100 off. I think that's what it was. Or it was $2,300, and I knocked $200 off, so it was $2,100. I can't remember. But I did give the guy a break. So, but basically, it was all profit. And I was just kind of the middleman putting the deal together. I was the Johnny on the spot, you know? So what's the lesson here? It's to keep your eyes open, to observe, look for opportunities, know what you can do. I knew that I could do this job, or at least I thought I could. I put the deal together, basically. And I thought that was pretty smart use of my time. So what did I make? I made basically about $1,000 an hour, you know, for not really any work, but a couple of hours worth of my time. So a couple $1,000 for 2 hours worth of work, I suppose. Time to get out to Linden and back. That was drive time. That was about it. Time I went back to my apartment, called Lowry's Trucking. And when I moved to Southern California, I've seen Lowry's Trucking in the LA area before. So I thought, that's the company that hired me to remove that tomato, to clean up that tomato spill back in 1996. I thought that was kind of interesting. So, you know, and I've had other big jobs. That was a nice size job. My biggest job was actually $11,000 job. That was probably in 2003 when I was living in Hollywood. I'll share that for another time. But I made a lot of money doing cleanup work. And then, and that business was started way back, 1988, using my little Datsun pickup truck. I had a long bed pickup truck. If any of you are familiar with that story of Acres of Diamonds by Russell Conwell, that was my Acres of Diamonds, my Datsun pickup truck, because I was looking for a business to start. And here, my next door neighbor across the street, Jerry Patton, I'll never forget it. He said, Carlton, you should haul people's things away. They'll pay you for that. I go, really? He said, yeah. See, I had been trying to do what Jerry and his wife, Lorinda, was doing. He had a little, I don't know what you call it. He sold secondhand furniture, lamps, desks, couches, things like that he'd pick up. And he'd go to these storage bins and he'd auction, you know, he'd put a bid on them. They auction them off. He'd grab the stuff and sell it and throw the bad stuff away, I guess, or give it away. Anyway, I tried to do what Jerry did. It didn't work. I never bought things cheap enough and sold them for the right price. Jerry knew that business inside and out. But I tried a lot of things. I sold my chocolate chip cookies at fairs and got Cokes for 30 cents, sold them for $1 until the proprietor of the event said, you can't do that. They didn't like the competition. I would try that, though. Try anything to make money. But the hauling business is what really worked for me. And it just fell into place. The Lord was totally behind it. There's a guy named, what's his name? Can't even think of the guy's name now, but it was a friend of Jerry's. He came over. He's a handyman. We got some scrap wood from Jerry, and we built side racks. And on the side of that red Datsun pickup truck, and I popped an ad in the penny saver, and I was in business. All I had to do is learn how to do bids. Originally, my bids were like $12, $15 an hour, but it got better. And then I started cutting down grass. Didn't even have a weed eater. I went and rented the weed eaters at a local tool rental place in Stockton until I got enough jobs, and then I bought my own, invested in my own equipment. Same with cutting trees, I would trim branches, do small tree removal, renting chainsaws. And then I bought my own chainsaw, a little Echo, 12-incher, very small. But got the job done. And then I think I got a Husqvarna. And then I did demolition work, breaking up concrete driveways. And me and my buddy, Bob Greenberger, we called him Bicycle Bob because he could ride that bicycle at 10 speed really fast, Good worker. He had a drug problem, which kind of messed things up for my business once in a while. He was out, he was hooked on drugs, so he'd be gone maybe for a few days, several days. But then he'd come back asking for work, and I would use him. I rented my garage out to him for $100 a month, but he was a good worker. Kind of a hippie type of guy with long hair, kept it in a ponytail. And, but he was just down to earth, and he worked with me for several years. We're still friends. He's still around, which is good. And I think he's come to know the Lord. more and more. He got off those drugs finally. And so praise the Lord for that. I hope I was a good influence on him. But we had some good times cleaning up the land. And yeah, but that just, this story, Russell Conwell, you should read it. Acres of Diamonds. I won't get into the story right now, but my Datsun, here it was right there. My Datsun pickup truck was used to make money. I already owned it, so I didn't have to spend a lot of money. All I had to do is invest in the local penny saver ads, which was about $120 a month, $30 a week, and I made at least 10 times my money, which wasn't a bad investment back then. Then I got into the Stockton record to make more money, more exposure. But I never made the really big money until I moved to Hollywood and got on the internet when I got a website. And that was in 2001 when I started that. After pursuing acting, I put that acting on the back burner after getting in the Screen Actors Guild and being in a lot of extra movies and doing an independent or so. But never made it to the level that I was expecting. I wasn't going to be one of these aging actors that ends up on the street. Your dream destroyed. No, I knew that I could make money with the hauling business. And so that's what I did. And I hired a web designer. We put it together. I put the content together. He designed it. And I went off to Alaska in 2001 to work with my brother in the fishing industry. But we never got on a boat, but we ended up cleaning fish in this factory. And one time I was checking my voicemail, and I realized that I had people calling me to get rid of their junk. And I said, I got to get out of this place. I'm losing money. So I quit that employment there in Ketchikan, Alaska, flew back to LA, and started my business. And it took off. First year I didn't make that much, $7,500. Second year I made about $15,000 in 2002. The third year I struck gold, made $89,000, which was more money than I ever made. And this was working 10, 15 hours a week, part-time. And enjoying it, the variety I enjoyed, the meeting different people. I did jobs for celebrities like Eva Longoria from Desperate Housewives, Anton Fuqua, director of Training Day, and The Magnificent Seven. Actually, I didn't meet him, but I met his cousin, I think, or his brother, who was a casting director involved in the industry. Funny thing is, I never kept in touch with this guy or some of my connections. I met Beverly D'Angelo, Eva Longoria from Desperate Housewives. Kevin Sorbo, I did a job for him, but I didn't meet him, but I met his wife, Sam. She paid me a check a couple times for some work I did for her. I later saw her at the Freedom Fest, and she remembered me. I said, why did you hire me? Or what do you remember about me? She says, you were very nice, she said. So that's good. That's nice. But none of that led to work. It can lead to work, I suppose. You could be a plumber working for a celebrity, and if there's a connection there and they like you, who knows? You might be in a film, or you might be cutting a record if you have a good voice and you can sing. So you just never know what can happen. But anyway, I have a different attitude toward wealth now than I had when I was much younger. I guess it was my religion that kept me from even pursuing acting to begin with, or from thinking about wealth. When I used to go door to door selling vacuum cleaners for Electrolux company, I did pretty well, but I didn't even work that business to the degree or level that I could have. I didn't work as smart as I could have. I should have been working off referrals in that. But I did okay. And a lot of the money that I made, by the way, I invested back into books because I love books. I believe in reading. I didn't read as much back then as I do now. Like I said, you got to set goals. This is what I've learned. You have to set goals. Tell yourself, I'm going to read 24 books this year or next year, or 50 books or whatever. I set a goal this year, 2024, to read 100 books. And I think I've got like 90 or 91. I got to keep going here because there's not that much time left. I think I got about a month and a half left. But I got some vacation time for my daughter for her schooling, so that'll give me a chance to read. And anyway, hope you enjoyed this, and consider what assets you have right now. Consider the people that you know. Consider how much money you have. What can you do that can serve other people, that you can add value to, okay? and pray about it, of course. I'm sure the Lord will bring you into some money-making opportunity, because a lot of people are losing their jobs now, but we have a dynamic economy still, and interest rates are fairly low. Maybe you can get a loan if you can, or some venture capital, or go in business with somebody that you can trust. Maybe they have the money, maybe you have the knowledge, okay? So you can work a deal out there. Anyway, hope this helps. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. If you like this video, please subscribe, share it with others. Until the Lord, and may the Lord richly bless you until we meet again. Have a great day.